Yeah, we just talking about his girlfriend is a baker, and I'm always looking for people, to do some baking for events or if I'm going to do customer appreciation. So there's always, I think there's always a connection. So I think that's a great way for us to grow the chamber membership. Yep. So,
everybody's ready for a good 2025, right? We had enough of 2024. Okay, 2022 wasn't really good. We're really looking at doing things. And Marky's right. We're going to try and get us as a group to build us as a group. The Regional Business Alliance, again, don't get caught up in the name. Just the Tri-Beach Business Alliance, so we have something we can talk to folks about. I had a good meeting with the city manager, Rick Messes, and Cynthia with Raton, city manager and their economic development director. Also with Carlton Croft at Werfeno's economic development director. We had lunch here yesterday, just kind of informal, just to set the things. The whole focus of that is to find out what they do. What's their aspirations? We got to ask, as Marky said, when somebody looks at joining the chamber, what's in it for me? You got to answer that with them. What's in it for me? And we think we're doing a better and better job of doing that, and hopefully we'll get your input on how we're doing. But we want to find out where they were, and they look at this regional. They look at us as the regional player. They want to keep their chambers of commerce, Springer and Clayton and Cimarron, and now the new one that's forming in Walsenburg. They want to keep. They've decided to keep it Grove Baton because they see the value in that. They've got a Main Street organization there. We're looking at those organizations doing the internal work in our cities and our communities and our counties, and this regional alliance doing the bigger regional work. If you think about it, having 2 states, 3 counties, and 9 participating municipalities, grants and fundraising and marketing from the regional perspective will be a lot better. And especially when you look at the financial stress that's already on most of our municipalities and counties. Okay, a lot of those dollars have dried up. We think we're in a place that we can actually grow the economy. We did hire a law firm, an SJS law firm out of Colorado Springs. They were referred to us by other chamber groups that have done this. The most recent was the Rural Boards Chamber Alliance. That started out at Canyon City or something, the Chamber of Commerce, and so they've done that. They were able to, one thing we learned is we're going to be able to do that as a DBA. So the question of what will happen to the Trinidad and Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce and its 443 years of history, we will continue that. Like any business, we're going to create a DBA that will be this. We'll set up maybe set up a new bank account. We will have new founding and governing documents that will require us to have a new bylaws. So we hired a firm that will that's already done that, and they can do work in Colorado and New Mexico. Okay, they're very aware of what our intentions are. The budget, I asked them to give us some kind of budget. We were able to get them on board with us at no retainer. They usually charge folks a retainer. They like the concept of what we're trying to do. They also see this as other future work for them, because a lot of folks are seeing the same kind of thing. That small chambers and business associations and Kiwanis clubs and JC clubs, and they're not growing. There's a lot of older folks that didn't want to tap out, and a lot of younger folks that aren't tapping out. So this is across a lot of different spectrums, and so we've brought them on board. The intention is to have a 9-person task force that is 3 from Werfeno County, 3 from Los Angeles County, and 3 from Colfax County. Okay. When I say Colfax County, in the early days, it will mostly be Raton. Okay, because quite frankly, it's going to be very hard to bring Springer and Eagle Nest and Angel Fire in from the speed in which we need to operate. Okay, there's a lot of splitting in before we get there. Okay, there will be a little bit more connection through Walsenburg than, let's say, would be the local charter stuff. Okay, and that's just to try and get those folks in. But that task force is being set up to each of those entities to bring to be representative of their communities, of their county, and their municipalities, to be representative so that we're making sure everybody wins. This isn't, the intent here isn't to have this being a Trinidad. It may be a Trinidad-led initiative, but it won't be a Trinidad-focused initiative. We're better together. When we have a park, we have a state park, and there's two towns that are on both sides of that. We have railroads, and Walsenburg can do things with their railroad that we can't do here. And so we look at this as a multiplication rather than an addition. And so we will be creating a 501c3. Chambers of Commerce are 501c6. And what those are is membership organizations that pay a dues to a body, and that body represents, most of the time, the government entities. That's how they were set up, as a counterbalance the cities and states and counties to make sure that the business community had representation on the budgets and the spending in those areas, since most of the money comes from the businesses. Okay, we got our chamber and a lot of other chambers got out of that track and started becoming an event coordinating business, and doing that in order to try and raise money. When we did that, we stepped on toes of real event coordinators or folks that are really selling beer and things. So we're going to pare back what we do. We're going to be a membership-driven organization. What's in the best interest of our members? How do we maybe have some oversight of some of the government entities that we work within? And so that 501c3, if you know anything about grants, one of the things that the grants always are asking is, who else is being benefited by this? Is it a bigger thing, or does it just help your organization? Well, if you think about 2 states, Minnesota and Colorado, 3 counties, and the 9 municipalities, there's a whole bunch of things. We should be really good at granting. And that would be a foundation. We'll be set up to have a chest of funds where we can actually do some real work. I see the chamber being a lane machine. I see it just having enough money to hire a director and having some cash in the bank and do this. I see the finance arm of us being this 501c3. And again, that's being done elsewhere. This isn't a patent thing. I've tried to study success models and failure models for the last year. I think we've targeted in what works and what maybe doesn't work, and I think we can do our own spin. Please?
Just a real quick question. Who will administer your grants?
That will come from that new entity. So that new entity, it's almost like the question, who will be our executive director? Well, we will create a body and they will hire through a hiring process our executive director. We'll have a body together that will do that, and they will try and find grant writers.
One per county.
That body, I really want to try and, if you start seeing things, I want more of our team to start doing stuff, and rather than being patent driven. Okay, I think there's a downside to too much patent. Okay, and so what we're going to try and do is we're going to bring in the folks from. So the neat thing about this is some of the folks who will sit on that board will be either the city manager or the economic development manager from those areas. Well, they're going after grants and have a grant writer right now. And sometimes they just need a little help. But I really want, I'm not dodging the question, I just want to form the body that will be empowered to answer the question. Okay, and so I hope you just hang in there for a little bit, and if you're interested in any of these things, hey, step forward. There's room at the table. Okay, please.
Is there anyone here today that's probably clear of those counties?
No. What we decided as a group right now is we would meet, and then we're going to go back to our areas, and we're going to talk to our folks a little bit, and let them know. Well, probably January's luncheon will be the luncheon, where we will have all of those folks there. The intent, you're going to start receiving some emails as folks start volunteering to be on that. I want that to be a really strong body. I don't want somebody to say, hey, I've got some time to be on the board. I want somebody who actually will bring it. Okay? And that's why we've said, can we have your economic development person? Can we have your city manager? Can we have somebody that we're not having to go ask the city of Raton something? Their city manager is sitting at the table with us. Right there is going to be able to direct us and has been directing us on what we can do and what we can ask for. Looks like we're going to be able to get office space in the Raton Visitor Center. Okay? We'll work some kind of MOU that actually allows it to go, but it won't be a transactional thing. It'll be something that they throw in the pot. They've offered some startup funds. I've asked them to hold those. Keep that powder dry for a little bit. Because we don't know what we don't know right now. Okay? And there'll be a time for folks to throw funds in it. Right now, Your board has tried to become fiscally responsible and be stable so we can pay our bills, to have a little bit of a war chest to do things. Trinidad Los Angeles County Chamber of Commerce can pay for what we're going to do ourselves. But as we start bringing new members in, and associate members come in, and we actually increase the membership base, we'll increase that revenue stream. As we start adding more things, that will increase that revenue stream. Same thing you have to do in all of your businesses is how we're going to take the tax with regards to that. Okay? So there'll be more coming on that, but I'm really encouraged by that. My intention is to spend more of my time that I have outside of the businesses I run, and kids and grandkids and all that kind of stuff, on this focus. And I'll try and make sure that we do a really good job of communicating. Towards that communication kind of thing, we're going to be seating a financial oversight committee. During the process of 2A, the lodging tax increase, we, as a body, listened to the folks that were in the lodging industry. Everybody that has a hotel here is a member of the chamber. It's probably one of the biggest penetrations of an industry segment, okay? Small and large. And when you listen to what they said, and they were saying they had been excluded too much, that they're collecting the lodging tax, they're excluded from actually having input into the lodging tax. I think all of us can say, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, we're just going to start anew with a clean slate. The chamber came out in support of 2A, okay, by taking a neutral position. But that means we didn't come against it. What we said is we made it conditional. We said we will not, because we could have easily, we had meetings with the mayor, we had meetings with the city council, we had meetings with folks, and we said, listen, if we don't get certain kinds of things we need to do, we have to come out against this. Because we need to make sure that our lodging industry and our folks that are collecting those taxes and have something to do with breeding the people, that they have a seat at the table and at least they're acknowledged as being experts in that space. And so we made 3 conditions. These were reasonable conditions. One was transparency. We need to see more of where those dollars are going, past, current, and going forward. We need accountability. We need to have real documents, accounting documents, that come forward to the public, and the chamber stepping forward and saying, listen, we'll look at those documents, to make sure that the dollars that are being spent in the 5 areas that the municipal code laid out for those to be spent. It's right there in black and white. And a lot of the stuff we as a chamber have asked for is things that enrich the lives of our seniors and our kids, because they have the hardest time here. My attitude has always been, if our seniors love living here and they have a good time, and our kids are doing okay living here, the rest of us should be okay with buck out, you know? So we're going to be seating, on the chamber side, there'll be 3 folks from the chamber on that oversight committee. It'll be myself, or whoever the president is in the future. It'll be our treasurer, and right now it's Marky, and it'll be our vice president, which will be Heather. And then we'll be soliciting 3 people from the membership to apply to be on that board. There are a lot of things. Our strategy will be tactical and strategic, okay? We will not be bringing pitchforks and bricks. If anybody believes that we're going to be that entity that actually goes to battle against the city, that's not going to be us. We're going to go to battle with the city. We're going to call balls and strikes. When there are balls, we're going to actually make sure that that's known, that was out of play. We need to keep the ball in play. We want to make sure that those 5 areas of the municipal codes that set up the lodging tax advisory board, that those things are followed. We're going to, now I'm going to use the word demand, but we can say request. Hopefully you don't have to demand these things, because the city coffers are our coffers. They're the citizens' dollars. So a mayor does not have those dollars, neither does anybody else there. They have a fiduciary responsibility of stewardship to handle those dollars in the best way possible for the benefit of the citizens. That's just how it's supposed to be. Kind of, our goal with that committee will be to make sure they do that. Now, I always like to bring solutions to things when we have problems. And so we're going to be a solutions-based organization. Certain things involve that, let's say the city does something that's outside of our wheelhouse, which is business and economic development, we will probably not get into that. That's not where so we're not going to be in every little nook and cranny. we all elected representatives that are representing us. And we need to give them the ability to do the things that we're represented to do. So they run the budget. The city manager runs the city. We're going to stay out of some of those things, but there are certain areas that are definitely affecting our businesses and our economic development. We need to set them. So if anybody's interested, there's 3 folks. I've already talked to one person. I'm hoping to recruit in that area. If you're interested, let us know. There will probably be a sit down and visit with the 3 folks from the chamber to make sure we're all on the same page with regards to the plan we use and the strategy and the tactics we'll use in order to move forward. I want to be very deliberate in what we do there. Okay? I want to be a respected organization who we can be trusted. Because if we do the other stuff, we will also lose trust. And we just spend a year gaining trust. It's going to be tough. Okay? So there's that. They'll need to be able to meet at least once a month, and that can be Zoom as well. They're going to help present things. If we see something on the agenda, or we get the chance to place things on the agenda, and as a membership organization, through the IRS, Section 501c6, they have to talk to us. So we are providing an option. And outside the 5 minutes, if we go and we need time on any of those agendas, on city council or any of the other agendas, we'll get that time. That's something that we will have to do. We're probably going to get, when we started, we said we're not going to be political. What we meant from that is we won't be political in dividing ourselves. But there are things that are political that affect us. Locally, county-wise, and at the state level. And we're going to try and stand up some kind of political group within our, again, politics to a chamber, not politics that is just out there. That's a dirty mess. And we're going to just want to be involved in any of that stuff, at least for the next decade. Right? So that's kind of where we are. Any questions with regards to that? Because that was a whole bunch. But this is serious what we're trying to do. Any questions with regards to where we're going? The Financial Oversight Committee. We promised people we would do that when we supported 2A. I'm personally pleased that 2A passed. But now we need to do the thing we promised to give our support to that, and that's create oversight. Any questions at all from anybody? Cool. Hopefully you trust us to move forward with this, please.
So I'm assuming by what you're saying that you have talked to the city council who's supposed to represent you, the people, business people, but this is what was the intention of having this, and how was their response, and to have us on the agenda to actually have our questions answered. Because currently they don't answer questions.
Here's the thing. And they run their meetings the way they're going to run their meetings. If we want to change that, we need to change things there. When we ask to be on their agenda, it will be for a constructive thing. We're not going to just always be on their agenda. Now, when I was in Fraser, Winter Park, the chamber always had an opportunity to be on every week's agenda. And it was almost a, hey, you got anything for us? Almost the same way as the city manager or the attorneys treated here. You got anything? Yes, I got this. You got anything? No, I don't got it. It was a running thing because we knew that the chamber and the city were linked together. That's how we were going to move forward. We looked at our chamber a little differently. So yes, I've had individual personal meetings with previous city manager, the current city manager, with the previous mayor, with the current mayor, with individual members of council and presenting at the council and presenting at the LTAB board. Here last month, I presented to them. I made our conditions known. So we're not blindsided, we're not ambushing anybody. Our intentions have been known for a long time. We worked with them for over 6 months to let them know where we were and the problems we were having, and could there be some solutions ahead of time. Now, I will say right now, we have an issue with regards to, because somebody may be watching this, we have an issue with regards to following the letter of the ordinance. Okay, that's really important to us. I have a military background. If it says something, that's what you do. If you don't like that, then you try and change that. But until it says something different, that's what you do. I think that's in business too. We have a real question, and it falls into the transparency and accountability portion of what seems to be proposed through the city's strategic plan for an LTAB committee, a lodging tax advisory committee, made up of the city staff city manager and city staff, to approve these budget things. Well, that's not how the ordinance says. So it needs to follow the ordinance, and I'm going to push back on behalf of the chamber on somebody saying a strategic plan is now an instrument that will trump an ordinance. Because if you open up that, nobody wants to open up that bag if they're on the city council. And we're going to make sure that why are you doing it? The LTAB, Lodging Tax Advisory Board, was set up to replace the tourism board to give open to be an advisory board. So here's where we are, to be kind of a filter of where can we do things, what can we have access to, who wants to throw a party, and how much money do you need to kick it off to make sure it has economic development ties, and it's tied to those 5 elements that are supposed to be funded. Okay. Our request is going to be very simple. Why are you doing that? Because that's not transparent. And are they going to be videotaped? Tom's videotaping us right now, videotapes all the other things. If there's an Elk Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, well, that can't be behind closed doors because their ends are transparency. It really makes our accountability really hard. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody and saying anybody has anything. This is just how they worded and wrote the ordinance. And until it changes, then it needs to be followed that way. And quite frankly, it ain't your money. It's how I come down.
What's the next step, as far as you can tell, in terms of figuring out how that money will be spent?
I think the next step is for us to see this new financial oversight committee.
You mean us, the chamber?
Change, because that's an internal change model. And we're allowed to have as many committees, our current model is like, we're allowed to have as many committees as we want. We can give them long time length of life. We give them short time specific things. This will actually be a committee. Sometimes you hear me say words like task force. When I say that they have a specific mission, they have a specific set of goals, and once they're done with that, they go away. Okay, because we're not trying to create all kinds of levels. A committee, though, is something that we should be putting together that actually lasts. And so the first thing will be seek that. And again, like I'm going to answer a lot of time, and then that body, that group of good people, will come up with the answers that most of us are asking. I really do need to remove myself. First year, I asked our board, give me some free reign. We had troubles. And I said, I can't have micromanage. I really don't have that time in my life. But if we can focus, we can recover this 142-year-old chamber. We can get it back on track. We can make it something good. When we make it something that the community and our business owners will be proud to be members of, or proud of the work they do, I'll sign up for that. That's what I signed up for. Okay? And I want to spend this next 9 months, my term ends in 9 to 10 months, putting this stuff together. So I'm going to start saying, we need the chamber to be the chamber. We need groups to be taking more control of these things. So if there's anybody that I would love to stand up a cannabis task force to find out how do we get ahead of things, because we got so far behind. We knew the next phase was doing stuff. And we didn't have a plan. And we're business people. And many of us needed to have a plan, but so we need to ask the city, what's the plan? We need to ask the LTAB board, what's the plan? We need to be able to see the plan. Not create something that sits on a shelf because we paid us for a study. We're not interested in studying things too much anymore. It's not. We're not a study group. We're an action group. We're an advocacy group, and we're going to take that role a little more seriously than we've done in the past. Yes, that means we're not San Fe Trails folks anymore. Good luck, city, for doing it. We're tired of losing money. Okay? We don't need to make a lot of money. The money we make has to have a dramatic, pinpoint effect where people can say, that's what they did, and this was the good result of it. And that's where I really want us to go. Okay? So, looking for 3 folks. I want you to be committed. I want you to understand we're going to do this we're going to do this in conjunction with the city, with our city. We're just working with our city. Okay? We're not going to. If there's some groups that want to do some kind of stuff outside and really just make it a them and us and that kind of thing, good luck. That's not what we're going to do. And so the city council is not our enemy. All those folks are our friends. I'd sit down and have a beer with any of them. Some of them I'd make pay, some of them I'd pay for, right? They're all good people. They give them their time. Our mayor's a good person, gives them their time. I think we can help them. Okay? I think we can help them. Okay? So I think that's a good thing. That's all I've got. I'm sorry for that length. And again, some of these things we'll send out.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, 2024 is nearly done. We're already starting to plan for 2025, so the chamber is starting to plan for 2025 too. 2024 was quite a year, just reversing a lot of other people's actions and other people's mistakes within the chamber. So now that that's been reversed, we kind of want to know what are your goals for 2025? Where do you want to see the chamber progress to? One thing that's fallen off is like our coffee talks. Kind of seem to be, collaborated, but everybody, couldn't attend or they were too busy or just seemed to fell off. Is that something you want to see brought back? We toyed around with bringing back the Chenoweth Awards. Is that something that our current members right now are interested in? Our luncheons have been a little shaky lately, not quite well attended as we would like, but that's something we definitely want to grow. So, next luncheon, December we'll do the Christmas party. Next luncheon will be January, but bring a friend, bring somebody with you. Let's try to grow these luncheons. Everybody here, I think already knows everybody, but when we have new faces and we make those new connections, and we really ask that. But does anybody else have any ideas, or would you like us to kind of focus and hone in on for 2025? Get these goals in place now, so we can start working on get through the holidays and start getting business.
At least have some suggestions, because we won't put anybody on the spot. This is very important to us. We'll post something on our Facebook page that says, hey, what would you like the goals to be? Just go there and pop it in. I kind of like the public stuff. Okay, so if we're going to post that, we'll do that in the next day or so. We'll tag the members. We'll try and do it. Try and get your response there. Anytime you want to call the chamber phone number, it comes right to me. The email address, hit the email address up. We want to be bold in 2025 and do some stuff. So let's push it a little bit. Okay, let's push it.
Newspapers are a good way to get it out there. Not everybody has that, or pays attention, or just don't see it all, or they didn't read all the details. Zoom. I'm sorry, I use Zoom different places. Let's be honest, we're all distracted in seconds. Watching or telling them, quit playing at that, or doing whatever. So it has to be personal if you want, if you really want to make this improve. So I would say it would start, like I said to you, with your Christmas that you, and I'm willing to volunteer part of that time, or you would have to be. I have a grandkid that we're visiting in between, but I'll do my part. Have some invitations made. Maybe have 5 of us with a list of who our members are, and we personally give them the invitation.
Yeah.
Personally give them the invitation, tell them what our goals are, talk about the thing that you just talked about with the 2A passing and what our plan is for that. So that people know, oh, they are working for us, and it's working with me and us.
Hello.
That's the only way you're going to know for sure is if you have personal contact.
I agree. I mean, we're a small town, we're a small community, we walk in distance everywhere, so I agree with that too. Some more personalization and face-to-face encounters, I think would definitely help.
We're going to have KJ reach out to you. She's the ambassador president. If anybody wants to kind of volunteer to do some stuff with cheerleading for the chamber, that's the person we'll have to reach out to. I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
One more question again was, I find value in the I'm kind of faced if we talk about personal face-to-face. But what I have never been able to figure out is one time we will fill the room 1 month and the next month no one will be there. And so I guess if anybody has any insight of what makes you come out for a meeting, what it makes you pass email was very big, really be helpful because when you, that was even saying, are they, outlive their usefulness? And it's like, no, I don't think this is where the core of it is. So I want them to be useful, and to me, to be honest, I mean, there's sometimes speakers, but for me personally, just to go around the room and say, this is my business, this is what I do, this is how I can help you. This is something to think about, maybe from my perspective, from what I do, I think it's huge. But we're not getting the attendance. The last few months have been really rough. Usually summers are rough because people are on vacation, but it hasn't picked up in the fall. So any insight, I think, would be really helpful.
Were you still sending out invitations by email, or was it only Facebook? Because there was, we kept asking.
Well,
Couple of months, like.
Yeah, here's the thing, and I have to take a lot of responsibility for this. One of the things is me, okay? I have this much bandwidth, this many cars. And so I tried to make it to where we are trying to make folks go to our website and look at the events that are on our website that we all pay for, and the Facebook page sales, and then supplement that with an email. Email is great, but if I send out too many emails, they don't get opened as much. So our open rate ends up being, we can kind of get away with one a week to folks, but any more than that, it's the open rate doesn't really increase. Certainly the click rate doesn't increase. And so what we're trying to say to business people is, it's the third Wednesday of the month. Have that on your calendar. What we can't be doing is having to be, and we need to do a better job of posting that. So I say I take some of the blame on this. Because if I only posted a week or so before, that's not helping anybody. I'm the problem right there. And we're opening up our stuff right now. We've identified that as a problem internally, and we're moving me away from certain things and increasing the number of people that do that. So it'll improve going forward, but it's going to be a real problem, and I have to take the blame for that, okay? I will also say, take some blame for it. It's the third Wednesday of the month, 12 to 1:30. I'm not your mom. Know where you're supposed to be. And if it makes sense for you, go to those two places and say, okay, what is the Facebook page? I'm not a Facebook person. What's the website say? And if you're neither one of those two, you're having a damn hard time in business these days. If you can't get to a website or a Facebook page, I understand. So we're going to do a better job of letting folks know that. But put some on you guys, on members, to make sure you go and look at it. And as Mark said, Monday or January is going to be a good time because we're going to bring a lot of good folks in that. You're going to want to hit January because there's going to be some really good presentations there. But one of the things Mark says, I'm always trying to figure out like a week or two before, okay, who can I wangle into doing this? So if you have things, training, education, taxes, you need the county assessor to come in here. Any of those, you need the city communication person to come in here. Well, let us know what you're wanting to do. You need the city manager to come here again. You want the mayor to really have some explaining to do because we can ask questions and get answers, okay? So let us know. We'll jump in the Anybody have anything that's going on in their business? We'll start right over there. Heather will monitor so you don't just go mulling off like Patrick said.
I'm actually going to pass this over to Zach. The one event that they have on Saturday is his brainchild, and something that he's working to craft just as he has rebranded himself as a service salesman. So this is kind of the launch of that, and we'll let him talk about it.
How's everybody? My name is Zach Lucero. I'm a consultant for service and sales deployment there at Gilman. So this coming Saturday, the 23rd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to be offering a free basic inspection, tire tread, battery voltage, all the end of it. So it's just to make sure your car is running for optimal performance for the winter season. Hopefully it works out good. We're all invited. We're going to have some good snacks there, some good drinks going on. It's going to be a good time, and hopefully it all works out well, and we'll plan on doing more and more and try to get back to the community.
This Saturday, you said?
Yeah, this Saturday,
okay.
the 23rd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
my name is Zach. So.
Cool.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Marky?
So Mexico, the state has to bill for an insurer of last resort for wildfire exposed properties. So what my understanding of that means, it's like Pinnacle with workers' comp, is it, but you will have, they're not going to insure anybody that can be insured elsewhere. But I often get the question is there going to be a point where there's areas in Los Angeles County that you will not be able to get homeowners insurance? So the answer is no. I have no idea what it's going to cost, but my office, we are committed to learning more about that. It's in January of 2025, this insurance exchange is going to open. But we are going to go through the training so that we can give you some of those answers. That's right. So I don't see it as being a competition to us, because my understanding is if you can get private insurance, then you don't qualify for this, but it definitely will give some the homeowners in Los Angeles County some sleep insurance, and at least they'll be able to get insurance. But this gap where anyone has, needs to know more about, so let's figure out insurance in the next few weeks, we'll have some answers.
Oh, that's great. I think a lot of people are concerned in this area of fire coverage and what is going to be offered going forward. So see Marky at State Farm, she'll help you out.
You have a friend in the insurance business. 206, 206. Anybody got 206? What's your car? 206.
Oh, is that you, Zach? Yeah. Oh, then you got it.
Fisher's Peak Outfitters, right next door, $25. Great stuff. Thank you.
Danielle?
Well, just been a new spending time in the community, getting out there and meeting people and going to attend more events and just getting to know.
She's certified in QuickBooks, starting a bookkeeping company, so if anybody needs services, definitely see her.
Thank you.
I guess we'll go over here to you. You have anything new and exciting going on?
Yeah, so I work with Rocky Mountain Microfinance Institute, and we help businesses through business training and access to lending. So if you are a new business, if you know anybody who's starting a new business, you can come to us. For all of the Los Angeles County businesses right now, we have some business loans. So if you're planning a new investment, why not save 50% with us and get some business education? Also, I'm looking for volunteers, so if anybody wants to work with small businesses, if you have expertise, business members, financial mentors, if anybody's interested, come and see me on the food park. I was in Richard last year.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's not going to again. I'm ready to do it again.
You got it.
Thanks for the insurance. Yeah, it was so much fun. It was just so interesting. It was so much fun to be around that kind of enthusiasm.
Stacy, I own Bear Assembly, which is zero waste personal product, personal care line. In Trinidad, I went through MFI. It was fantastic. I don't know if the brand still exists. Yes, we also have a $5 tech grant. You get a lot for your money. So I think it's a great program. And I'm in 9 stores throughout Colorado and New Mexico, but here in town I'm in Acton, Arkansas.
This is Organic Representing. We are representing enterprises. We have a small mailroom business to where if you have, it's for anybody in town. Because we're a suite, you can have your packages delivered there. And so we provide that service. A lot of our customers are those outlying that have like fifth wheels and they're in the process of building. So the post office will give them a physical address, or they can't get a driver's license because they don't have a physical address. So we're assisting there. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get our building set up. Little by little, it was a family business that my father owned. He's been gone 16 years now. So that's how long it's been here. So we're just trying to grow it and help the community.
Nice.
Cards. Okay, and I didn't even think to bring. I mean, I do, but I didn't even think to bring.
Sure, because that's something that often you want me to be sure something they don't have a mailing address. So,
No, I want to talk. Oh.
Yeah, I'm here on behalf of the Tourism Gallery, and we have several open call shows every year, and the next one is the miniature show. So anything 12 by 12 by 12 by 12 or smaller is allowed. And I was just on the radio yesterday talking about it, and I really would love to see some little sculptures, like go get some sculpting clay at Walmart and just make some stuff. And the more people who participate, the more fun it is. The last couple times we've had about 70 entries, and I just think it's really important as an arts community for us to provide opportunities for people to show their art to their neighbors. So I have a lot of flyers. If anyone would like one to put up, I'm happy to share. And
be sure to put these things. Also, be sure to put these things on the website event calendar, because that's where he'll
Right.
or tag the chamber when you're doing this on Facebook, and we'll make sure that we do it as well. Okay, so let's help promote.
And there are cash prizes: $100 for first place, $75 for second, $50 for third, and there's People's Choice Award, which is $25. So there's some opportunities to be awarded real prizes.
When is that due?
It's due on, entries are due November 30th, December 1st and 2nd, and the reception will be December 6th, which is the first Friday.
Eric Shepard, Main Street Live. I've met most of you. Some of you I haven't met. Some of you have introduced myself to several times. So we have an event coming up at the theater. I'll just put those out. And that is our Christmas show, which is Commedia Christmas Carol. Almost every word in it is from Charles Dickens. There are a few others from the playwright, just to kind of set up the story, but it involves lots of humor, and it is the story that you love, told in a little bit different way. And then we also plan for 2025 in advance. We have to. And so I've got our season brochure that I want to hand to you and encourage people to become season ticket holders. It's a bargain. You get the tickets at a discount. You also know that you've got a spot. And it also allows us to plan financially, because we know we've got money coming in advance. So we have the money to buy the costumes and the grease paint, so we can hear the roar of the crowd. Yes?
How much are your season tickets?
These tickets are $100, which is a 24% bargain on what they cost over the counter. Yeah, heck of a deal. I like to think we do good work, so when you show up, you'll be entertained. And we're excited about 2025. We had an event last Friday. A number of folks who were in this room were in that room, and I appreciate what a great turnout we had for it. That's all I got.
I have to.
Oh, and you got the back of my head. Terrific.
I got to get on camera myself. Guys, I could speak for a long time, but I just want to tell you, I've been filming parades since 2005, and we have the Parade of Lights on the 30th, I think it is. The judges will be at my place in the front of the Chappelle House. The day before that, we're going to be filming and live streaming the tree lighting, which is about 4:30. So if you can't be there, if you go online and watch it, being there in person is even better, though. It should be about 4:30. If you haven't subscribed yet, go to Trinidad Times TV 71. I've been filming government meetings since 2005. And I appreciate people who actively get involved in politics. It's sometimes not the best thing to do for your business, but it's probably a bigger and higher calling if you believe in whatever your position is, that you need to express that. And so I appreciate what the chamber is doing by being involved in that and being positive about it. So I'm at like 958. We're close to 1,000. My channel is not monetized. It never has been. I don't want YouTube coming in the middle of one of my meetings and putting an ad on. So, but when we get to 1,000, it makes a little bit of a difference for me as far as some of the bells and whistles that I can add on to. So if you would do that and encourage your friends, I'd appreciate it. We're very, very, very close. My family came here 43 years ago and bought Millar Funeral Home. I've been remodeling for 40 years, and we have some exciting new services that are coming in 2025. It's taken me all this time, but 40 years you can do a lot to a building, and I got 15,000 square feet, and it's like eating an elephant, and I still have a lot more to eat, one bite at a time. I started painting the exterior, I think in 2018 or 2019, and I would just take a piece and say, I'm going to do that part today, and I get it done. But there's still more to do. So, but thank you. But again, the tree lighting Friday after Thanksgiving, and the parade of lights Saturday. So, like, share, and subscribe. Trinidad Times TV 71.
And before you go, please, if you want some more chips and strawberries, up the south, because they don't need to go on.
You took all the calories out.
Oh, good. I'll tip you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Stay up to date. We'll be in touch about the Christmas party in December. There will be no luncheon in December. We will have the Christmas party instead. So we'll communicate that, and then just plan to meet back in January, third Wednesday, and we'll let you know where it is well in advance. So, thanks, you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.